Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Recently, on Politics Today of the Channels Television, Daniel Bwala said that without coalition against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is likely to spend 8 years in power without coalition against him being put in place. Now, that being said, I want to offer a different perspective to it. So I will address the issue of coalition, then I will address the issue of electability of Bola Ahmed Tinubu going forward. But let us first of all clear the fact that the only reason why anybody will assume that Tinubu will do 8 years is because elections in Nigeria are not free and fair. Because ab initio, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not supposed to have been the winner of the 2023 presidential election. This is because if that election was free and fair, there is no way Bola Ahmed Tinubu could have been sitting pretty at the presidential Villa Abuja as the president of Nigeria. The only reason why he's there was because the election was not free and fair. That's a given. And Nigerians rejected Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I love what Cardinal Onayeka said the other day on TV. He acknowledged the fact that going by the result of the election, despite the questionable data that INEC bandied about as the result of that election, you see that the vast majority of Nigerians rejected Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he got only 8.7 million votes. That is despite everything. That's what, based on that INEC declared him the winner of the election. That 8.7 million votes was not up to 50% of the vote cast in that election. It was not. If you calculate the votes that Atiku Abubakar got, about 6.9 million votes, Peter Obi 6.1 million votes, and Kwankwaso's 1.4 million votes, you will see that the vast majority of Nigerians voted against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay? And it was based on this analysis that, if Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi and Kwankwaso had combined their votes, that they could have defeated APC. It's not true. APC was defeated in that election. If they had not rigged it, there's no way APC could have emerged winner in that election. Several international observers, independent observers, have said so. The last person that hammered on it was Baba Shilawa, former secretary to the federal government. So if that election was free and fair, there's no way APC would have won it. There was a winner in that 2023 presidential election. So you don't need coalition to actually defeat APC and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They were defeated in the last election if the election was free and fair. So I want that to be cleared out. Because why I'm saying this is because people keep on deceiving themselves that it is because Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and Atiku Abubakar did not combine together. That was why APC was able to win the presidency in 2023. It is not so. Take note of this. In 2019, Kwankwaso was in PDP. In 2019, Peter Obi was in PDP. In 2019, Atiku Abubakar was in PDP. What happened? That same election was rigged by the APC. So even if these same people had all congregated under PDP in 2023, with the determination of the APC to rig the election to sustain itself in power, they would have still rigged the election. That's a fact. So the only thing Nigerians need is to ensure that there is electoral reform that will make it impossible or very difficult for APC to rig the election, both physically and electronically, so that we can't have the kind of mess we had in the last election, where the presidential election result was not transmitted live because of alleged glitches, which never existed, which was just a figment of the imagination of the Independent National Electoral Commission. So I want that to get set aside, that if there is a free and fair election, there is no way Tinubu would have won. There is no way APC would have won that 2023 presidential election. They know it, and they know the winner of that election. And that winner of that election is the person they're always attacking and mocking on television, online, and anywhere they had opportunity, because they know the real winner. They know it in their heart of hearts. They know it. They may be celebrating it now that they won, but they know in their heart of heart, if they are true to themselves, if their conscience is still working, they know who won the 2023 presidential election, and it was taken away from him. So that being said, you can see that the idea that Tinubu will spend 8 years is not because of his performance. That's what will give Bwala the thought of Tinubu spending 8 years in the presidency, is because of rigging that is so inherent in Nigerian politics right now. Rigging that APC has taken to a new height. APC didn't start rigging in this republic. PDP was the master, but APC has taken over. Okay? So if there were a free and fair election, and Tinubu will be judged based on his performance, and the people's vote will count, you can't guarantee that Tinubu will spend 8 years. The way that Bwala was putting it, Daniel Bwala was putting it, you can't guarantee it at all. Now, okay, look at even the performance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the first 6 months of his regime. You know that if the first 6 months of Tinubu is to be an indication of the next 4 years, there is no way Nigerians will return him in a free and fair election and he will win. Because already you can see insecurity has increased more than ever before under his first 6 months. Okay? Under his first 6 months, over 5,060 Nigerians have been killed. Thousands have been held hostage by kidnappers. Now, this figure is more than the number of people that were killed in the first 6 months of Buhari as president of Nigeria. In the first 6 months of Buhari as president of Nigeria, it was only about 3,900 people that were killed in the first 6 months. But here we're talking about over 5,000. You know the price of fuel was about 241 naira before Tinubu came on board. Now fuel is over 600 naira. We know the value of the naira to the dollar in the black market is about 740 something naira. Now it's 1,200 and something naira. So there is nothing that gives an indication that Tinubu is going to take this country to anything better that will warrant him being re-elected in a free and fair election. So the only thing that can guarantee Tinubu's 8 years is because Nigerians have allowed INEC to conduct elections that are usually rigged by the politicians and the electoral umpire. and then stamped with authority by the hugely compromised judiciary in Nigeria. So that's the only thing I could give anybody the certainty to talk about Tinubu doing 8 years. Okay. But in a free and fair election, given the performance of Tinubu so far, and given the record of APC before now, there's no way APC will win an election in Nigeria. That's a fact. There's no way Tinubu will do 8 years. But from what Bwala is saying and from my own assessment, he can only do that 8 years through electoral malpractices that have become very common in Nigeria. But if it is going to be based on performance, there's no way in a free and fair election that he's going to win and get 8 years. And I said, Abi Nisha told you that he couldn't even have won the first election, the 2023 election, if that election was free and fair. So that being said, so that's an alternative view I want people to take note. And I also want this to be cleared that if Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Kwankwaso had stayed in PDP, that PDP could have defeated APC. It's not true, especially when APC was determined to rig the election and the electoral umpire was on their side. It would have been impossible. In 2019, all of these people, Obi, Kwankwaso, Atiku, they were in the same boat. Yet, they presently rigged the election. Even the ordinary kind of election at that time, you can see how PDP won it. They declared it inconclusive, and then during the inconclusive election, the by-election for the inconclusive election, they brazenly rigged the whole thing and returned APC to power in that state. So we understand the game, these people. Unless those who understand the game that's going on, that will think that APC will win any election, in free and fair election in Nigeria, presidential election, or even any election for that matter. It's not possible. It's not possible. So that's one aspect I want us to get clarity on before we go further on this Daniel Bwala's assertion. Then Daniel Bwala was talking about coalition. That coalition is what is needed. And that coalition, as I said earlier on, is coming from the mentality that it was the lack of coalition that made APC to win in 2023. No, I don't believe that. I do not believe that. But if there is any coalition, who are those to make up the coalition? As I said, the coalition will have to be made up of the top opposition leaders like Atiku Abubakar, who was the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last election, general election. Peter Obi of the Labour Party, who was the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. And then Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who was the presidential candidate of New Nigerian People's Party. They are the people that will talk about coalition and the people that Bwala had in mind and was talking about. Now, these leaders, you can see that after the election, when the election had already been rigged and the INEC announced the winner, in quotes, since Tinubu had been sworn in, they have been calling for coalition. One of the leaders of those who called for this coalition was actually Atiku Abubakar, who was calling for the need for coalition. But I know that coalition they are talking about is dead on arrival, because any coalition that is not coalesced around Peter Obi is a waste of people's time. It will not work, because Bwala himself is working for Atiku Abubakar. So he would like opposition, the coalition, to be built around Atiku Abubakar. And Atiku Abubakar does not represent any change in Nigerian politics. Atiku Abubakar is no different from Bola Ahmed Tinubu in all ramifications. Okay? They are basically bird of the same feather. Okay? There's no difference between Atiku Abubakar and Tinubu. So anybody building any opposition around Atiku Abubakar is really wasting his time. And that is what the kind of thing that Bwala wants. Then you also have Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who think that he is the one to take up the mantle of Buhari as the rallying point of northern Nigeria. And Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso feel that it is either him or nothing else. Is that the person that we're going to build a coalition around? Can't build a coalition around these two people. And besides, the truth be told, in the next round of election in 2027, that will be barely 4 years that the Southerner will be president of Nigeria after 8 years of Buhari as a northern president or a president from the north. So it will be unconscionable for anybody to think about power going back to the north after only 4 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That power can only go to Peter Obi or it remains with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is how it's going to, that's the only thing that makes sense in 2027. Any coalition that you are building, if this Daniel Bwala and all those people running around Atiku Abubakar and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso are serious about any coalition, they better build it around Peter Obi. Peter Obi is the one that many people and the international observers who were unbiased had tipped to win the election. And they were not wrong. Because if the election were not rigged, Peter Obi would have been the one sitting pretty as the president of Nigeria today. So if they are really serious about coalition, the opposition want a real coalition. They want an arrowhead, an opposition leader, arrowhead they can rally around to keep the APC in check. Peter Obi is their only solution. Anything short of that, there wouldn't be any coalition that makes any sense. And there wouldn't be any coalition that will work. Already, Peter Obi has shown that he could defeat the APC on his own. Yes, go and check the record. Go and check the achievement of Peter Obi in his first try without so-called structure, what he was able to accomplish. And the records were there to indicate that if that election, if we are to go by the true reflection of the votes of Nigerians, that Peter Obi will be the one sitting pretty at the Asoro Villa right now. But because the elections in Nigeria and that particular 2023 election was not free and fair, that was why Peter Obi is not in the villa today. So he has the support of majority of Nigerians. He has the support because among all of them that participated in 2023 election, he was the only one that has integrity, impeccable integrity, who was not associated with any looting of public resources, who is not wasteful of both his personal or public resources. He is the one that know what to do, who have articulated what should be done to take this country from consumption to production, what should be done to stabilize the naira, what should be done to remove fuel subsidy in such a way that it will not hurt the people and the economy of Nigeria, unlike what we have now under Tinubu. He is the one that people will know that if he's telling them anything about the economy, they can go to rest, knowing fully well that he knows what he's talking about. And they know that he will not touch their resources. He will not touch public resources. He will not pay for with the money of Nigeria. He is the only one. So any coalition at all that you want to build and you don't build it around Peter Obi, it's a waste of time. So Bwala and all those other people running around Atiku Abubakar better get that straight in their heads, because 2027 will soon come. And then they will come and prompt up Atiku Abubakar to come and challenge Tinubu. They are going nowhere. And the Kwankwaso going nowhere in terms of challenging Tinubu. The only thing they can do is to rally around Peter Obi, and he will be the presidential candidate to support in 2027. Because by 2027, the presidency ought to remain in southern Nigeria. So any coalition that Bwala and co are dreaming about, in which they hope to build around Atiku Abubakar to stop Tinubu from having 8 years, is just a total waste of time and energy. Tinubu can easily not have 8 years, because if you go by his performance of the last 6 months, if he had to continue for until 2027, there is no way Tinubu can get re-elected in a free and fair election. But then there are also other issues to take into consideration. What will determine the fate of Tinubu is not totally performance, especially given the fact that the North has spent 8 years under Buhari as president. Therefore, it will be unfair to say that the South will only spend 4 years, then a Northerner, Atiku Abubakar or Kwankwaso, will come and be president. No, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way under our federal character principle. So if they are really serious, they have admitted that Tinubu has failed, is already failing, then they should rally around Peter Obi, the man that has promised to take Nigeria from consumption to production. And he has the blueprint to do it. That is my position on this issue. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.